Hey folks, we're at it again with Outside the Box. Here with Bob. I'm Rob. We're gonna go through how to troubleshoot some interesting areas of your kitchen. As you can see right here, we have our upper section of our 3 doors. All 3 doors are the same height. They all look right from the front, but as you can see when you open up the doors, that we have a different size opening and rail at the bottom here. Now, we have a little mock-up drawing of the section right here where we have our opening in this area already written down at 29 1/4 by 26 1/2. Now that's the same as we had over on the other side of the kitchen, which is the general upper measurements. So we want to make sure that we watch out for that with this door and that we get the same look of all 3 doors lining up with each other. Now, how we do that is just by looking at it and making sure that our door here is the same height. So pretty much we're just going to measure the width of it, make sure that we get that width down at 19. And for our sake, we're going to write down the opening as the same opening size as we wrote down before. So we're going to go ahead and write down 26 1/2 with a little asterisk at the bottom there to note the fact that we have something special going on here. This is the area where we might run into a issue with our hinge placement. Now, this is a good example of our soft close hinge that will go on most of your standard doors. It actually goes into the door, and the spot where it goes into the door is what we call the hinge bore. Now, that's important to know here because we want to know whether our hinge bore is at the right placement for that hinge to go in and conceal inside the cabinet. If we don't address this, then it's possible that we put our hinge on there and then we aren't able to get it in the right part of the cabinet in order for the door to sit correctly and line up with the other doors. The easiest way to find this out is the difference in the openings of the cabinet. Since we know this height is 26 1/2, we're going to go ahead and measure the height of this. 24 3/4. Our standard hinge bore placements come at 3 3/8, which means that if your opening is anywhere within 2 inches, 2-inch difference of this opening, you're going to need a special hinge placement. Right here, our difference between 24 3/4 and 26 1/2 is 1 3/4. So we don't have to worry about doing a special hinge placement there. The only thing that we have to worry about is making sure that our door is the same height as the other doors. So here's another problem you're going to end up running into. In a lot of kitchens, you're going to see that you have pullouts. How to troubleshoot for that pullouts is what we're going to be talking about next. So what we know is that we've taken our measurements. We've got a double door at 27 inches by 22 inches. We've written down our opening, we've calculated our door size, and now we need to deal with the pull-out situation and what we're going to do with our hinge. As you can remember from a couple minutes ago, we were talking about our hinge prep and our hinge placement. Our standard hinge placement is going to end up 3 3/8 from the bottom of the door. In order to make sure that we clear this, you want to make sure to give yourself plenty of room. Now, the best way to do that is just to basically go within an inch measurement. Just keep it simple here. You just want to make sure that you give yourself plenty of room to get out of the way. So I know that I'm going 1/2 inch overlay. I'm holding my tape measure at 1/2 inch. Now what you're going to do is when you specify your hinge prep, that's going to be the center of your hinge prep. So if you go to 5, just know that that's the center of your hinge prep. Your hinge is going to actually come down to about 3 3/4, which is just above the pullout. So instead of going to 5, which seems like you should, and coming so close, just go ahead and go up to 6. Now when you determine where you want to put your hinge prep, that's where you draw it on your paper. Earlier on when you were measuring your doors, you should have specified whether there was anything special like pullouts. You specify that by throwing an asterisk on there or any special marking that you want to. Right underneath, you want to specify what your asterisk is for. And the easiest way to do this and communicate to us is the letters BHP. That signifies bottom hinge prep. If you want to signify a special top hinge prep, THP for top hinge prep. Now here, because it's a pair of doors, it's just going to come in as a pair of doors. Earlier when we had the potential problem of having only one door, if we did have to bottom hinge prep that, we would want to write right bottom hinge prep at whatever measurement. Over here, we decided that our measurement is going to be 6, so we have bottom hinge prep at 6 inches. When you order your doors, it should look a lot like this. We calculated 27 plus 1 inch for the overlay is 28. 14 inches per door minus a 16th for the center is 13 and 15 sixteenths by 22. And then we're going to have BHP at 6 inches. And that is how you troubleshoot how to get around your pullouts. Again, you want to make sure to get down there and double check your measurements again. I get down, I make sure that I mimic my overlay by putting it at the 1/2 inch marker and making sure that 6 is going to clear. I don't want to put it any closer than I have to. I want to give myself plenty of room to get those hinges out of the way. And that is all. As long as we make sure to check all of those, every single door, to make sure that we don't have anything like that behind there, then we're going to be good to go come install. All right, again, on behalf of myself and Bob, this is Outside the Box. Thank you for watching.